Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week, I checked out The Rover, and this 2014 film was directed by David Michôd and stars Guy Pearce, Robert Pattinson, and Scoot McNairy, among others, of course. The story of this movie takes place in this post-apocalyptic world where everything's just kind of like a desert, and it follows our main character, and he gets his car stolen. And so he is trying to track down the car thieves. Along the way, he also teams up with the brother of the car thieves, who they kind of like left for dead after some incident. And so they all kind of team up and try to get revenge on these car thieves. What will happen though? Well, you have to watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. Well, this is an A24 movie, and they are kind of like this independent film company, and they make lots of different movies of varying qualities. They do have some like Oscar nominations and stuff, but then they also have like kind of not good movies like Macbeth. I watched that one. I didn't even bother doing a review to tell you how bad it was. But they have other really good ones, so they do kind of a mixed bag that way. I think this movie is probably in the good half of their movies, or at least in the good quality category for sure. It is, again, does follow their kind of independent movie style where not everything is told to you. In fact, there's quite little dialogue in this one, especially from the main character. He does not like to talk at all. And so you have to kind of figure out what's going on and think about it, which I just find engaging in this type of movie. And looking at all of kind of the visual aspects of it, definitely has some good storytelling that way. So it does, work to suck you in, especially if you like, thinking about movies. So that is definitely good. In addition, I really did enjoy this world. It is post-apocalyptic, and that's one of my favorite, movie environments. And this one's pretty interesting. It does have that, again, A24 style where they don't tell you anything about the world. You just kind of have to figure it out yourself. And so it is like a collapsed society. Their whole society has collapsed. I think they say something like 10 years ago it just fell, and now they're dealing with what they got. And they have really cool like environments. It's just a desert. It's an Australian film, so they're going through the deserts. But they have, stores and rundown houses and all these types of things that they go into. And all of them are very well designed as well. Their new society is also interesting, I thought. It's like shoot at first sight and shoot everyone at first sight. It's not as dramatic as some other ones, but it is pretty interesting that way. So there's lots of stuff to, get into this world that I did enjoy. Furthermore, this movie does have really good acting. I really enjoyed Robert Pattinson's acting in this one. I know, you see him in, what's it called, Twilight, and he's very cheesy in that movie. I think he's, he's like Team Edward or something? I don't know. I'm on Team I don't care. But with this one, he does like a really good job. He acts like he has some type of mental condition where he's very uneducated or very ignorant. It's not really like fully mentally challenged or anything. But he does a great job. They kind of explain it in this weird way, so it's not really like anything he, has control over. But he does a really good job in this one. You really do kind of believe his character is so, ignorant about the whole world and the situation. It kind of seems like this like American kind of inbred guy. I don't know. It's very interesting to see his performance. I would say it's actually like worth it just to see his performance and how good it is. But yeah, very good acting all around, especially Robert. And lastly, I did enjoy kind of the themes of this movie. With this one, they have some themes like what is money and why are you so interested in money. With their fallen society, everyone is just looking for money. They're all looking for American dollars, and it's pretty funny how it works out because, the American characters, they have American dollars in their pocket, but the main character is Australian, so he has Australian money. And he is just trying to get rid of this Australian or get people to use Australian money. And eventually he just like starts yelling at people like, it's just paper. Just take it. It's just paper. Who cares? And so it's all very interesting that way. And they have some other themes too about morality and, family and brotherhood and that type of stuff. And so all of that just adds like an extra layer that just helps me think about it and definitely sucks me into it and definitely raises my, enjoyment level of this movie. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, I think with this one, when it comes down to it, is pretty light on story. It's just these two guys going on this road trip. One wants to find their car, one wants to find their brother. The characters, I think, are much more interesting than like the story itself. And they do a few things to, show you the world and what's going on. And all of that's interesting. But when it does come down to it, yeah, it's very kind of light on story that way. Other than that, they also don't tell you a lot about the world. As I was saying, that's kind of like the A24 style. But with this one, clearly it's a collapsed society. It tells you nothing about how it's collapsed or why it's collapsed. And it's all like in a desert as well. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe like there's no more water anywhere, and that's why you're getting people driving from America to Australia. But again, that's just me trying to fill in the blanks. But I enjoy that stuff, kind of thinking about it and expanding the world in my mind. But if you are looking for something more kind of deep that way, then this is probably not going to be a movie for you. But again, I enjoyed it. So it is what it is. So who would I recommend this movie for? Well, of course, if you're a post-apocalyptic fan, I think this is a cool little adventure through this desert landscape. Other than that, yeah, if you're an A24 fan, yeah, sure, totally check this one out as well. I think it should be right up your alley. As for rating, well, I have to give it the good score of 7. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.